teachers, welcome to Landi Subject English. In this video, we will provide you with all the basic information you need about Landi. It's our goal to make teaching with us as fun and stress-free as possible. Here are the main topics we'll cover today. Some background on Landi, what the Landi project is, the reasons why students choose Landi, and last but not least, some general tips for teaching in an online environment. Let's first look at some background information. Landi Subject English was created based on the Common Core State Standards. It provides the students with authentic Western education and focuses on developing the critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills students will need to be successful. The teaching methodology we use is the well-known CLIO, aka Content and Language Integrated Learning. It's no longer about language only. The language was integrated with other subjects, like math and science. In our project, students will learn earth science, life science, social science, art, etc., and they're all taught in English. The students taking classes through Landi are taught using the peer study theory. There are a lot of other online education companies which focus on one-on-one class, but our classes are student-centered. The teacher is there to guide the students through the material and assist if necessary. Students have peer tutoring, peer modeling, peer competition during class, and give peer feedback as well, helping them build up their ability to communicate and cooperate effectively. In addition, this will push the students to become more active and creative learners. The teacher's unique worldview gives the students greater global awareness and cultural exposure, quite different to what they have previously experienced. Let's take a brief look at the program structure and breakdown. Landi Subject English provides our students with a progressive learning system. For preschool all the way to high school levels, our students fall between the ages of 4 to 18 years old. In the pre-E level, students have little to no English experience, but when they gradually get to, for example, pre-M, they will know how to use English in other subjects and think in English. And eventually in level H, they will be able to use standard and natural English to deal with all kinds of situations. This chart shows us the current student distribution. From here you can see that 75% of the student population falls into the first two levels. Here's the core course material, which consists of the experience lessons and the regular lessons. There are 4 different experience lessons currently in use for non-registered students to try. However, the 2 highlighted in red are the most commonly booked by students. Regular lessons are classes taught to our registered students. After signing up for the course, they are tested and placed into a level. The first 3 levels focuses on English fundamentals and reading. Starting from the E3 level, students will study English in the context of different subjects, primarily math, science, and reading. There are also a few specialty classes offered to students, Smart Phonics and Sharing class. Smart Phonics is offered to parents who want their children to start their English education with a stronger phonics foundation. Sharing class is a special class where a student can bring a friend to their English class to study a special topic that changes every month. Currently, all classes offered in Landi are 25 minutes long with up to 2 students. Why do parents pick Landi? Unlike traditional classes and other online courses, Landi Subject English has both online and offline materials. Students will actually get real books of the course they buy, so they can preview and review on their own. or with the help of their parents. When they have online classes, they will use the digital book shared by the teacher. The digital book isn't identical to the physical book the students get, but it covers the same subject matter. It provides the students with many opportunities to communicate with the teacher about the topics. Landi Subject English has a fun and unique design to help keep students interested and engaged in the lesson. The books are colorful, the stories are interesting, and there are even stickers for the students to practice the new vocabulary. Here is an example of one of those pages where the students can stick pencil case, ruler, book, and a backpack to the blank areas. The project allows students to grow up together with major characters, like Jimmy. In the book, Jimmy is a little kid in pre-E, but in the higher level books, Jimmy grows up right along with the students. Even parents get to play a role in their child's English learning. The book have QR codes which can be scanned for additional activities. The parents can score their children based on their performance. Many parents love the opportunity to be more interactive with their kids and help them with the lessons at the same time. For each level, there is a scoring map. This is an encouragement system where the parents can give their child a number of stickers every time the student completes a chapter. After collecting a set of number of stickers, there is a reward that can be set up by the parents. Now let's talk about a few ways to make teaching online more interesting for your students. Good preparation. Number 1. Decorate your background. Before you start teaching, you can decorate your background with pictures, stickers, or alphabet letters. While this is not mandatory, it is a great way to create an interesting and fun teaching environment for our students. Make sure to test your mic, headset, and camera before the first class of each day. Preview the material. As a teacher, you will have a clear idea of your students' strength and weakness. When you are looking through the material, ask yourself these questions. Will this work for my students? How can I increase engagement? What additional activities can I include? Good atmosphere. Students should call you by your first names. If they see you as a good friend rather than a teacher, it will be easier to form a closer bond with those students. Smile. Students feel nervous when they talk to you because they are using a language they are not familiar with. A big smile will help them to relax and feel encouraged. Use lots of TPR in your class, especially with the little kids. Change your intonation throughout class. Use sounds when possible to increase engagement. For example, animal sounds or crying. Give your students constant praise to help build up their confidence to speak and take part in the class activities. High fives, thumbs up, or round of applause are some classics that students will love. Limit your teacher's talking time. Don't try to explain grammatical points. While we all love teaching grammar, it's not a good idea to try to directly teach it to young children. It will be far too time-consuming and will most likely not lead your students to a state of happiness. Use short and simple instructions. Just because something is written on the page doesn't mean you have to say it. Your goal should be to keep all verbal instructions as short and as simple as possible. Use more TPR than words for very beginners. Remember, body language is the universal language. Do not summarize the lesson for your students. This will only increase your teacher talking time unnecessarily. Instead, guide your students to tell you what they have learned during the day's class, providing help only when necessary. Heads up! Don't depend on the internet connection between you and your student. There could be some delay. Typically, this would be most noticeable with the material you are sharing. The telltale sign is a grainy video feed from one of your students. So if you notice it, don't reference the page immediately when you move on to the next slide. If you're talking about something on the page that your students can't see, it will be unlikely that they could follow you. Avoid using broken English. Even if the students don't understand your question, don't simplify it to the point of make it grammatically incorrect. Try other ways like using more TPR or rephrasing your question. Kids have a short attention span. They can only stay focused for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. If you keep most of your activities to under 3 minutes, you will go a long way in keeping them engaged and interested in your lesson. Give each student a balanced amount of time in class. If mom feels like you are spending more time with the other students, they might get angry, and no one is having fun when mom is angry. Getting the students to do pair work is great, but make sure they are first comfortable with you and the class before trying to accomplish it. It's a great tool, but it can create some extra stress in your class. Thank you for watching this video. We wish you the best of luck with your classes.